Picture this. You get paid on Friday, feel that brief moment of relief seeing money in your account, and then by Wednesday, you're staring at your balance, wondering if someone secretly drained your bank account while you slept. Sound familiar? Your rent disappeared first, then groceries, a few bills, maybe that coffee you definitely needed. And suddenly, you're left with spare change and a sinking feeling in your stomach. Hey everybody, it's Billy here. What if I told you that the difference between people who are always broke and people who are actually building wealth isn't how much they earn? It's one simple system. If you're looking for a realistic, no-fluff way to finally stop living paycheck to paycheck and start keeping more of the money you already make, you're in the right place. Quick disclaimer. Hi, it's your friend, Billy. Please note that this channel is for education and entertainment only. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Talk to a real professional before you do anything with your actual money. I'm serious. Don't be that person. All right, back to the video. Today, I'm revealing 10 budgeting strategies that work at any income level, without hours of tedious tracking, without feeling like you can never spend money on anything fun, and without starting over from scratch every time life gets in the way. I know that constantly watching your account drain and feeling behind on your financial goals can feel demoralizing, like the finish line keeps moving. But stick with me today, because I'm going to give you the exact roadmap to take control of your money management, starting right now. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about money management. The problem isn't that you don't earn enough. The real issue is that your money doesn't have a plan, so it makes its own plans without asking your permission. And spoiler alert, your money has terrible decision-making skills. But what if I told you there's a simple system that can completely transform how you handle money, even if you're starting with almost nothing in your bank account? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to take control of your finances with 10 practical budgeting strategies that work, whether you're earning minimum wage or bringing home 6 figures. If you're new here, I'm all about making money management simple and stress-free. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're diving deep into financial strategies that actually work in the real world. Let's start with the foundation of everything. The first rule of successful budgeting is brutally simple. You need to know your real numbers, not the numbers you think you spend, not the rough estimates you tell yourself, but the actual cold hard facts about where every single dollar goes. Most people are living in financial fantasy land. They think they spend about $50 a week on groceries when they're actually spending $80. They assume their entertainment budget is maybe $30 a month when it's closer to $120. This disconnect between perception and reality is exactly why most budgets fail within the first week. Here's what you need to do starting today. Track every single expense for at least 2 weeks, but ideally a full month. And I mean everything. That morning coffee, the parking meter, the random app subscription you forgot about, that pack of gum at the checkout counter. Use your phone, a notebook, a spreadsheet, whatever works for you, but write it all down. This exercise is going to shock you. You'll discover money leaks you never knew existed. Maybe you'll realize you're spending $40 a month on delivery fees, or that your weekly target run for just a few things is actually costing you $200 monthly. Once you have these real numbers, you can make real decisions. You can't fix problems you don't know exist, and you can't optimize spending patterns you're not aware of. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your money. The second principle that will revolutionize your finances is giving every dollar a specific job before you spend it. This concept is called zero-based budgeting, and it's incredibly powerful because it eliminates the mystery of disappearing money. Here's how it works. When your paycheck hits your account, you immediately assign every single dollar to a specific category. Rent gets its portion, groceries get theirs, savings gets its cut, debt payments get their share, and even fun money gets allocated. The goal is to have $0 sitting around without a purpose. This doesn't mean you spend every dollar. Some dollars have the job of sitting in your emergency fund. Others have the job of growing in your retirement account. And some have the job of being saved for future goals. But every dollar has a designated role. When you give your money specific assignments, something magical happens. Impulse purchases become much harder to justify. Instead of seeing $200 in your checking account and thinking you have $200 to spend, you'll see that $50 is for groceries, $40 is for gas, $60 is for utilities, and $50 is for your emergency fund. Suddenly, that random online purchase doesn't look so appealing. This system also helps you identify when you're overspending in certain categories. If your grocery money is consistently running out before the month ends, you know you need to either adjust your grocery budget or change your shopping habits. The third game changer is setting clear, specific financial goals that actually motivate you to stick with your budget. Vague goals like save more money or spend less don't work because they don't give you a target to aim for or a reason to sacrifice. Instead, create goals that paint a picture of your future. Maybe you want to save $500 for a small emergency fund within 6 months. Perhaps you want to pay off your credit card debt within a year, or maybe you're dreaming of taking a vacation without going into debt. Write these goals down and be specific about the timeline and dollar amount. Then break them into smaller, monthly or weekly targets. If you want to save $1,200 in a year, that means you need to save $100 per month, or about $25 per week. Having clear goals transforms budgeting from a restrictive chore into an exciting challenge. Instead of feeling deprived when you skip the expensive coffee, you'll feel proud because you're $25 closer to your emergency fund goal. Your goals should also be flexible and realistic. Life happens, circumstances change, and sometimes you need to adjust your timeline or amount. That's perfectly normal and doesn't mean you failed. The key is to keep moving forward, even if you have to slow down occasionally. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest budget killers, not understanding the difference between wants and needs. This distinction seems obvious on the surface, but it gets murky fast when you're standing in a store or browsing online. Needs are non-negotiable expenses required for basic survival and functioning: housing, food, utilities, transportation to work, basic clothing, and minimum debt payments. Everything else, no matter how much you enjoy it or how much it improves your life, falls into the wants category. This doesn't mean wants are bad or that you should never spend money on them. It means you need to be honest about what you're buying and make conscious decisions about your wants-based spending. The coffee shop visit might feel like a need when you're exhausted, but it's actually a want. The streaming service that you watch every day might feel essential, but it's still a want. The nicer apartment in the better neighborhood might seem necessary, but if a cheaper option meets your basic housing needs, the upgrade is a want. Being honest about wants versus needs helps you prioritize your spending. When money is tight, needs get funded first, and wants get funded with whatever is left over. This framework also helps you evaluate whether a want is worth the trade-off. Is that daily $5 coffee worth more than having an extra $150 per month in your emergency fund? The key is not to eliminate all wants from your budget, but to be intentional about which wants you choose to fund and which ones you're willing to sacrifice for your larger goals. Let's address something that derails more budgets than almost anything else: irregular expenses. These are the costs that don't show up every month, but have a nasty habit of appearing at the worst possible times. Car maintenance, medical bills, holiday gifts, annual insurance premiums, home repairs, and professional development costs all fall into this category. These expenses are predictable in the sense that you know they'll happen eventually, but unpredictable in timing and exact amount. The secret to handling irregular expenses is to make them regular by setting aside money for them every month. Look at your past year and identify all the irregular expenses you've faced. Add them up and divide by 12 to get a monthly amount you should be saving for these costs. Create a separate savings account specifically for irregular expenses and automatically transfer this amount each month. When your car needs new tires or your laptop dies, you'll have money waiting instead of scrambling to find funds or reaching for a credit card. This strategy transforms financial surprises into minor inconveniences. Instead of derailing your entire budget, irregular expenses become simply a matter of transferring money from your irregular expense fund to cover the cost. Building on the concept of irregular expenses, let's talk about creating an emergency fund, which is your ultimate financial safety net. An emergency fund is money set aside specifically for genuine emergencies like job loss, major medical expenses, or urgent home repairs. Start small with your emergency fund goal. While financial experts often recommend 3 to 6 months of expenses, that can feel overwhelming when you're just starting out. Instead, aim for your first milestone of $500 to $1,000. This amount can cover most minor emergencies and gives you a foundation to build on. Treat your emergency fund contribution like a non-negotiable bill. Even if you can only save $10 or $20 per month initially, the habit is more important than the amount. As your income grows, or you find ways to cut expenses, you can increase your emergency fund contributions. Keep your emergency fund in a separate savings account that's easily accessible but not connected to your regular checking account. This creates just enough friction to prevent you from dipping into it for non-emergencies while still allowing quick access when you truly need it. Remember, an emergency fund is insurance, not an investment. The goal isn't to earn high returns, but to have money available when life throws you a curveball. This fund provides peace of mind and prevents emergencies from becoming financial disasters. If you're carrying debt, especially high-interest credit card debt, making debt repayment a priority is crucial for your long-term financial health. Every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar that can't work toward your goals or improve your life. The first step is to stop adding new debt. This means avoiding credit cards for new purchases unless you can pay the full balance immediately. If you can't afford something with cash or debit, you can't afford it right now. Focus on paying off your highest interest rate debts first while making minimum payments on everything else. This strategy, called the debt avalanche method, saves you the most money in interest over time. Alternatively, you might choose the debt snowball method, where you pay off the smallest balances first for psychological wins. Consider any extra money you find through budgeting as ammunition against your debt. Tax refunds, work bonuses, money saved from cutting expenses, or income from side hustles should go directly toward debt repayment. The faster you eliminate debt, the more of your income stays in your pocket, instead of going to interest payments. Here's a practical tip that can save you money immediately. Take control of your energy usage. Utility bills are often seen as fixed expenses, but you have more control over them than you might think. Start by doing an energy audit of your home. Look for easy wins like switching to LED light bulbs, unplugging electronics when not in use, adjusting your thermostat by a degree or two, and using energy-efficient settings on appliances. Many utility companies offer programs that can help you save money. Time-of-use plans charge different rates depending on when you use electricity, potentially saving you money if you can run dishwashers and washing machines during off-peak hours. Consider your heating and cooling habits, which often account for the largest portion of your energy bill. Using fans instead of air conditioning when possible, closing curtains during hot days, and wearing layers instead of turning up the heat can all make a noticeable difference in your monthly bills. Small changes in energy usage can add up to significant savings over time. Even saving $20 per month on utilities puts an extra $240 in your pocket annually. Before you hire professionals for repairs and maintenance, consider whether it's something you can learn to do yourself. Many tasks that seem complicated are actually quite manageable with the right guidance and tools. YouTube has become an incredible resource for learning basic repair skills. Whether it's fixing a leaky faucet, changing your car's oil, painting a room, or troubleshooting appliance problems, there's likely a step-by-step video that can walk you through the process. Start with small, low-risk projects to build your confidence. Successfully completing a minor repair not only saves money, but also gives you skills and confidence for tackling bigger projects in the future. That said, know your limits. Electrical work, plumbing that involves major changes, and car repairs that affect safety should generally be left to professionals. The key is finding the sweet spot between saving money on simple tasks and avoiding costly mistakes on complex ones. Keep a basic toolkit handy with common items like screwdrivers, pliers, a hammer, measuring tape, and some basic hardware. Having the right tools available makes it much more likely you'll attempt simple fixes instead of immediately calling for help. Finally, the most important habit for long-term budgeting success is regularly reviewing and adjusting your budget. A budget isn't a document you create once and forget about. It's a living plan that should evolve with your life circumstances. Schedule a monthly budget review where you compare your actual spending to your planned spending. Look for categories where you consistently overspend or underspend and adjust accordingly. If you find yourself regularly exceeding your grocery budget, either increase the allocation or examine your shopping habits. Life changes require budget adjustments. A raise at work, a new debt payment, a change in housing costs, or a shift in your goals all necessitate updates to your budget. Embrace these changes as opportunities to improve your financial plan rather than seeing them as failures. Track your progress toward your financial goals during these reviews. Celebrate wins, no matter how small, and use setbacks as learning opportunities. If you didn't meet a savings goal one month, analyze what happened and adjust your strategy for the following month. As you become more comfortable with budgeting, you might find you can extend the time between detailed reviews. But especially in the beginning, monthly check-ins help you stay on track and catch problems before they become major issues. Remember, budgeting is a skill that improves with practice. Your first budget won't be perfect, and that's completely normal. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each month you stick with the process, you're building better financial habits and moving closer to your goals. The beautiful thing about these 10 strategies is that they work regardless of your income level. Whether you're making minimum wage or bringing home a six-figure salary, the principles remain the same. Know where your money goes, give every dollar a purpose, prioritize your goals, distinguish between wants and needs, prepare for irregular expenses, build emergency savings, eliminate debt, control controllable expenses, learn valuable skills, and continuously improve your approach. Start by implementing one or two of these strategies, rather than trying to overhaul your entire financial life overnight. Pick the ones that resonate most with your current situation or address your biggest pain points. As these become habits, gradually add more strategies until you've built a comprehensive money management system. Your financial transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen consistently. Every small choice you make, every dollar you redirect toward your goals, and every habit you build is moving you closer to financial stability and freedom. The path to better money management isn't about perfection or deprivation. It's about being intentional with your choices, staying focused on what matters most to you, and building systems that support your long-term success. You have everything you need to start right now, regardless of your current financial situation. Take the first step today. Pick one strategy from this video and commit to implementing it this week. Your future self will thank you for starting now rather than waiting for the perfect time or perfect circumstances. Financial freedom isn't reserved for other people or future versions of yourself. It's available to you right now, one smart decision at a time. If this video helped clarify your path to better budgeting and money management, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who could benefit from these strategies. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss actionable advice that can transform your relationship with money. Your journey to financial confidence starts now, and don't stop now. Do check out the next video right at the end of this screen and keep the momentum going. See you there.